For all of you who listen to Submersion and own an Android device, go to the Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It's a fantastic app that allows you to get all of your favorite podcasts directly on your Android device. I personally use the app and I love it. I can search for the podcast I want to listen to, select it as a favorite, and have it just a click away. Make sure to select Submersion as a favorite so you don't miss any of our new episodes. Again, the app is the Podcast Republic app, available on Android devices. Episode 105.
Woo!
There we go. A little more lively tonight.
Yeah, brought that energy back.
Got him. I just felt it. I felt it tonight because of the movie we watched.
Whoever felt it dealt it.
Is that how that works?
That's what the kids say on the elementary school playground, right?
Oh, you're hip with the kids.
Whoa. Come on, guys.
Fox never smells his own hole.
Gophers only look a few times.
Huh. Anyways.
That would have been a perfect time to dive. Let's just get into it.
No, we're not diving because we got things to talk about. We got things to promote.
23 minutes in. Come on.
Yeah, people don't care what we actually think, right?
No, they don't.
They care about what you're eating because you clearly sound like you're eating something.
Rice.
Perfect.
Wow.
Just
rice
white rice
is nice. So last week, Brom had mentioned that you'd finally watched a movie from the 80s, The Thing, right? Was that last week, 2 weeks ago?
I mentioned that last week, but I watched it quite a while back. I think there was an episode when it was just Patrick, Jamie, and myself, and we talked about it a couple years back now. But I did watch The Thing. I love that movie. It's a great movie.
Well, that inspired me to watch an 80s film I had never seen. It was also my anniversary, one of my wife's favorite films. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but last night, for the first time ever, I watched Dirty Dancing.
Ooh.
Really? Yeah,
it's pretty amazing that I've gotten this long, through life, and I haven't seen that movie. Especially being married as long as I have. That's amazing.
Now, Kyle, have you seen the movie? What is it called? Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell.
I think, he's at a bar and he's wearing like sneakers or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, it turns into this
ladies' guy. Is Ryan Gosling in that too?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and he does the move from that movie to woo, to sway his girls into rationally accepting to have sex with him. So,
right. Oh, does he do the lift? Is that what it is?
Yes, he does the lift.
Okay.
I tried to do that with a guy a couple of years ago, and I gashed my leg open.
Wow. And that's why you only have one leg.
In the water, though? That's how you're supposed to practice.
No, I didn't practice at all. I was drunk and very, very, is it sheep-headed?
Yes, that's a phrase. Probably.
Something like that.
Yeah. Kyle, it's quite the coincidence, too, because guess what is coming up on badmovietwins.com? That's badmovietwins.com.
Oh. Something with the sways?
No, it's Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. The sequel.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then we also previously watched as, because we do a theme where we bring in movies that weren't released to theaters. So we did Dirty Dancing, the remake TV movie, not that long ago with Abigail Breslin.
Oh, I saw that got like a 3 or even lower, right? I mean, it's supposed to be just awful.
Yeah, it's not good. Considering you just watched the classic.
There's a Netflix series called The Movies That Made Us.
Right.
That did a documentary on how they made Dirty Dancing. It's actually very interesting. I highly recommend it.
Well, now I'm going to have to watch that.
So you're like a huge Jennifer Grey fan, is that right?
She's cute.
She is cute in that movie. For sure.
Who are you talking to, Jamie? You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was asking if you, because I think most people would be like, Swayze. But I was going to say the same thing Brom said, which is that I think Jennifer Grey is probably the best she's been in a movie, I think. But
now I'm confused. Does Dirty Dancing have a sub, or what the hell are we talking about here, guys?
Dive!
What began as an innocent conversation among friends would soon spiral out of control and later be referred to by future generations as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Mac East Studios takes you on the journey of your lifetime as your captains, the artist formerly known as Brom, Jamie the Ointment, Kyle El Capitan, and the Gruesome Twosome present Submersion.
There it is, the Gruesome
Thanks
Twosome.
for doing that. That was very kind of you.
I gotta
Oh,
say,
hey,
Zach,
gotta do it for you guys. And Zach, thank you for keeping us on track.
Crazy, right?
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all people,
Feels good.
I would have expected you probably dead last.
Hey, that's why I own 51% of Mackie Studios. So
That's true, and you just upped your stake in it too with your new creation. Was that today or yesterday that you made the subreddit?
started yesterday. So
Mackie
Would you like to
Studios.
talk about it at all?
we should probably talk about it, right? So yeah, listeners, fans, people that we've disappointed, we have a new subreddit, and you can find us on that subreddit titled Mac East Studios. Right now, it's only focusing on our one and only show, Submersion. But in time, maybe it'll expand. Kyle, can you allude to some of those 10 to 20 ideas you've got going?
Yes, so we've definitely talked about an audio drama that will for sure see the light of day.
First
Okay.
mentioned on episode 32.
I'm very excited for that too.
That early, over 70 episodes ago.
Yes.
And
Actually got that,
how many years
got that
ago?
trivia today.
Yeah,
wow.
he knew that so quick. Ben
I know,
was
it's
like
unreal.
on it.
He could have made it up. I don't know, honestly.
I'm not making it up. That was episode 32, Super Atragon, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Sounds legit. I'm gonna have to go with him on that. So yeah, that's something that we've definitely talked about years ago. Maybe we should focus on that. Then we've also talked about some different gaming things. I know you've got a couple things in the works, Zach, that you
Possibly. Well, at least
are
one.
interested in.
At least one.
Yeah.
The new one could be, there's some competition out there, so we'll see. We'll see if we can compete. But yeah, no. So the subreddit's Mackie Studios. Look on there right now. It's just pretty much just for Submersion. There's a discussion thread for every single episode of Submersion released so far. So please give us your thoughts. Discuss. Please join. There's 4, and I think 3 out of the 4 are my accounts. So please join up.
Great. There you go.
Interesting.
I want to hop in and make a very quick correction. The Super Atragon was a different fun fact I pulled. Episode 52, Morning Departure, is when you pitched the Submersion audio drama and mentioned that it is coming soon.
Honestly, me and
Coming
Kyle
soon.
have talked about the audio drama almost, I think, maybe before we were even starting this podcast. I think when you were only talking about this podcast in more theoretical terms, we had talked at bowling about the idea of an audio drama
Oh yes.
version of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Back when the podcast was just a twinkle in your eye.
it's true. And me and Patrick obviously have a large number of podcast ideas, but we'll save those until badmovietwins.com buys Mac East Studios. So
It's an
Power
hour.
play.
it ends up being a subsidiary, and we can kind of make our power move.
And dissolve it, and then just everything is badmovietwins.com.
That's badmovietwins.com. Yep.
Good. And also, Zach, you've also done some legwork on the Discord channel,
Yeah,
which has been popping today. So
It has been. Things are moving. We're getting good discussion. We're getting good pictures sharing. The Discord's probably the quickest way, at least for me, to interact with everybody. So, now we've got an unlimited Discord share invite link that is on our subreddit. You can find that under the sticky post, all things Mackie Studios and Submersion. You just have to click it, log in to the Discord, and you should just join our server. If there's any problems, take it to Kyle. But
thanks.
should be good. We got what do we have? We have introductions, general, pictures. We got emojis rocking, submarine emojis. This is like 2011 stuff, guys. We're doing great things.
We are.
Yeah, destroy that subscribe button.
And I want to hop in here too, and I want to give a shout out to the guys over at the R Star Blazers Discord channel. They helped with some research for our possibly upcoming anime movie month, anime television as well. But users Con 2012 and Anna Kid loaded us up. They brought 12 new shows to 10 new shows, 12 shows total. 2 we already had, but they absolutely loaded us up, chock full of animes that feature and showcase submarines in them, and they were very excited to check out the podcast as well. So if you guys are listening in, thank you very much. The teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
And
Could not have put it better myself.
And if I was listening to us on Podcast Republic right now, this is when I would skip the 30-second button. So let's dive deep.
Yeah, like, come on. We got to get into this at some point, right?
Let's tear into it.
Alrighty, Alex, what did we watch this week?
It's a good question. We watched a movie called Deep Shock. When did it come out? I don't 2003.
Yeah, shockingly.
Yeah, Philip Roth. Got a whole good cast of great actors in it. A lot of famous people. And if you are a Incredible Hulk fan, there is an episode called Deep Shock as well. So don't get it confused. This is a totally different genre and movie altogether.
I would do that if I were you.
It's funny you called him Philip Roth as the director. I mean, that is obviously what he's called on IMDb and the such. But if you watch the credits of the movie, he decided to go under the name Paul Joshua Rubin for this film for some reason. It's the only time he's ever used that alias. Yeah, I don't know why.
He didn't want to be tied to it.
That's
strange. He just makes schlock, so I'm not sure why he was so concerned about this one in particular. But
so his real name is Philip Roth.
I think so. Yeah.
Interesting. We think. We don't even know for sure. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not that. But, yep. And it also starred a whole bunch of famous people, such as David Keith. You know him from...
Not to be confused with Keith David.
Did I do it wrong? Was it Keith David?
David Keith plays Landry's dad.
You didn't play Landry's dad. Come on, get out of here. I know who Landry's dad is, okay?
Like Kyle Chandler or something?
No.
Kyle Chandler.
I don't even know who Landry is, man.
I don't either, but I've definitely heard it enough from Jamie.
It's Friday Night Lights. It's Glenn Morshower.
Gotcha.
All right, so what do we know David Keith from, Jamie?
U571.
And?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. A bunch of other stuff, probably.
Yeah, he was the lead in Edward Scissorhand and
the lead.
Sweeney Todd.
He was the titular
Lead?
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, and
he is Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's
right.
Amazing. Another stage name, David Keith.
Whoa.
We also have Simone McKinnon. Mark Shepard.
So Mark Shepard, I did recognize. I was like, where do I know Mark Shepard from? And it's from TV shows because he's like Battlestar Galactica and Firefly and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got Steve Buscemi's cousin, at least he looks like him, Sean Whalen.
Yeah. I know him from Jury Duty. He's the guy on trial on Jury Duty, starring Pauly Shore.
I just only knew him from Twister.
All right. And that pretty much sets us up for a rollicking adventure under the sea because we open. And we are on a submarine straight up. And we're like, whoa, this movie's going to have submarines up the wazoo. And I guess kind of. But anyways, they're on the submarine and they're going around and they're kind of like griping about how it's like lame since the Cold War ended. Whatever. I wish we could do all kinds of like crazy shit with the Russians. Whatever. But they're up in the North Pole and they're on a Seawolf Jimmy Carter and they're like, okay, let's like open our torpedoes or something like that. And all of a sudden the sonar person is like, I've got a target. I got something on my sonar. And they're like, what is it? And they get like a frequency in and it's like a kind of a weird, like, computer generated like scream of some sort. It's like, through the computer.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Yeah. And they're like,
The acting
"What's
here,
that?"
though, top notch,
Yeah.
right off the bat.
I think if you could say one thing about this movie, it's that acting, off the hook. Anyways, they get surrounded by a beam of light. We're not really sure exactly what it is at this point. And the submarine loses all power and ends up going down. We flash over to the UN headquarters in New York City, and we see the headquarters, and it's beautiful. Just like a beautiful setting. They've clearly spent a lot of money making sure it looked just like the UN, and they're giving a speech about stuff. It does not look like a high school auditorium in the least.
At all.
No.
Not at all.
Like, for
Not
sure.
even close.
Like, when you look at
And-
it, your mind does not go high school auditorium.
They spared no expense. They filled this thing with extras. And I mean, what? Seats probably like 1,500 people. I think they had.
And they
50
probably had
people
they
in
had at
the
least
seats.
14.
Yeah.
At least. I mean,
14 of the 1,500.
what the hell was that?
So weird. And I was like, are they going to explain this? But all they explained in the intertitle, because they constantly wanted to let you know exactly where you were. They're like, at the UN. You're like, okay, well, doesn't look like it, but fine. And we get a total dick of a scientist kind of sitting there like smirking and being like, whatever, rolling his eyes at our heroine. What's her name? What was her name?
Dr. Ann Fletcher.
Dr. Ann Fletcher, sorry. I should have paid my respects and remembered her name. And she is basically like, I know everyone's going to be laughing at me, but I got to tell you that over here up in the North Pole near the Hubris Research Center, terribly named research center, don't even worry about it. Not sure why we named it Hubris. It's not global warming or anything like that that's heating up the polar ice caps and going to flood the Earth. It is monsters, and everyone basically laughs at her. And they're like, get the fuck off the stage. And the scientist goes up and it's basically like, what a dope. Anyways, to solve this global warming problem, we have to nuke the North Pole. And I was like, what? Like, I was trying to figure out what is the solution that they're like even proposing here? Nuking
That's
the North
what
Pole.
I heard too, because at this moment I thought, well, I guess the ice caps can't melt if you blow them up, right?
I don't even know. I guess the
That's
point.
a natural solution. But then they talk about it later, what they're actually going to do. But I was like, this makes no sense. But let's see where it goes.
It was really bizarre. I guess, yeah. I mean, really, what's happening is I guess all the heat that's melting the ice caps is coming from this trench, and they're just going to try to close up the trench, and like that's going to solve the problem. But it seemed like really crazy that it's like, what a Dumbo over there. Like, we're obviously going to nuke this place. It's like, okay, what? Jesus. It's fine.
As if that won't give off any heat whatsoever.
Yeah. And so anyways, we go over to they basically like kick her out. They're like, let's take a vote. Should she be out of here? And everyone's like, yeah, get her out of here. And she's like ejected from the group as they decide at that moment, yes, we're going to totally 100% nuke that place. And so we get some scenes on Hubris where they're setting up for this. And the captain of the Hubris is like super jazzed about this. He's like, okay, guys, we got confirmation. Let's get it going. And he's got like a little pod he gets to get into to like shoot off his nukes. It's like a little cockpit.
It reminds me of like, you see the warplanes from World War II where they've got what would be called like the ball turret gunner position. That's what this looks like.
But the captain
He's just
gets
ready to launch the nukes.
Yeah, he's like got his little cockpit that he gets to sit in while he shoots off nukes from like a fucking ice station. It's really weird. Anyways, they start to get all these nukes set up in the torpedo, and there's a person who's sympathetic to Ann Fletcher, Dr. Ann Fletcher, and it's like, I'm going to stop this. So he goes down. It's like, you guys better stop this. And they're like, no way. And he's like, I got a gun. And they're like, oh shit. And he's basically like, give me that phone. And he calls up Ann Fletcher. And of course, we're told specifically, she's in Washington, D.C., running through the snow. And she's running along, looking pretty sweet in her running outfit. And she gets a phone call. And she's like, oh, hello, who is it? And it's like, hey, it's me, your best friend / maybe your boyfriend. Your ex-husband doesn't know that. And she's like, what's up? And he's like, I'm trying to stop this nuclear launch. And she's like, don't do it. Like, you're going to get killed. And the captain, who's super jazzed about setting off these nukes, is like, get people down there and kill them. And he does. So they send people down there. He gets all shot, riddled with bullets, and is killed, all while Dr. Ann Fletcher is like listening on the phone. And she's like, no. And then the captain's like, finally, we get to, get my rocks off, get my nukes off, and gets into his little cockpit, shoots off his nukes, and they're like, okay, we got them both off. Everything's great. And all of a sudden,
How did he push the button, though, Jamie?
I don't know. How did he push the button?
He's the captain.
With his dick?
Exactly. So
I missed that.
Kyle, you're kind of
right.
overstepping your bounds there a little bit. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not really.
I was
going to
wait until David Keith drops his giant dick on the table.
Well, don't
It's
worry,
basically,
man.
I'm the
That can happen
captain.
later.
Anyways,
I'm the captain now.
Stop trying to be funny.
and anyways, they get targets on
my
the thing.
forte.
They're getting all these like the weird like beeping noise. Like, what is that? They keep on asking this question. Like, what is that? What is that? What is that? And the captain's like, well, it sure ain't mermaids, and like all kinds of stuff like that. And basically,
And that's like the best guess, right? That's like the closest thing that anybody could have possibly said to what we're about to witness.
right, because then we see swimming up like a bunch of gross serpentines, a bunch of gross captain dicks out of this trench are eels that even swim up through like the little like submarine portal or like whatever, and they're like shocking people to death. They shock the captain to death. They shock everyone on the whole thing to death, and basically they lose contact with hubris.
Yeah.
We flash
They
over.
also have dragon faces. I don't know.
Yeah,
You probably have mentioned
that was a
that.
little
It's important.
strange. The look of them, Zach may have said that he really, really liked the poster of this,
Yeah.
where the eels look pretty sweet. In practically, like during the movie, they look like complete garbage and like cartoons. So
Well, I'm going to jump in here. Take a hot take. The poster makes it look like there's one giant killer eel. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely not what happens.
No, it's not even close to the size that these things are, right?
I feel like that's a perspective thing.
I guess it could be.
I feel like the eel's like real close to the camera in that scenario.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Come on.
I think it's
Come
perspective.
on.
Agree to disagree. Because then,
I mean, no, it's huge in that picture.
Agree
I'm
to
looking
disagree?
at it.
No.
I'm gonna tell you, I disagree. And if you don't agree with that, I think that's crazy. That is a perspective. That eel is right in front of the camera, and those people are way up by that hole in the
But
ice.
its face is illuminated, so it can't be close to the camera because it's over in sort of the god rays of the light. shining
That's
through.
they're coming in. Okay, let's discuss this for the next 45 to 50 minutes. It's coming in at an angle and illuminating this eel very close to the camera. Anyways, that eel looks way better than the eels we're seeing, regardless of what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So-
I don't know.
I agree.
Or we could agree to disagree. Oh, agree to agree. Okay, so then running through the forests of Sugarbush, Maine, just
Which
randomly.
I looked up because I was like, maybe I'll do Sugarbush, Maine worldwide. It's not a place.
It's not a place?
No, I was disappointed.
I guess maybe because I feel like Sugarbush, because I used to
There's
go to
a
Sugarbush.
Sugarbush, Vermont, which is like a resort.
Because I was going to say Sugarloaf is a place in Maine, so they must have got mixed up. They got
Well, if
confused.
that's the worst thing they did, whatever, right?
So anyway, she's running around Sugarbush, Maine, and all of a sudden she's surrounded by people with guns, military people. And they're like, you're coming with us. You're needed for a goddamn mission. Because she is brought in with David Keith, her ex-husband.
No way. We've never witnessed this before in a movie. This is going to be crazy.
They probably hate each other and would never get back together. Ever. Come on.
There's no way.
No. Well, except the only problem is that's David Keith, and he has hot stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways. The other doctor's there also, and he's like, I'm going with you. And there's like these two other kind of jokey guys, one of them being that Steve Buscemi lookalike, who also are there, and they're kind of going in. And they're like, okay, what's the plan? Like, oh, we're going to fly up there. We'll go in there. We'll check it out, and we'll see like kind of what happened because the plan didn't work. And like, well, why do you need
And
me?
they've lost contact.
Yeah, they lost contact. Like, well, why do you need me? And they're like, well, you're the one who kind of like poo-pooed the whole idea anyway. So like, maybe you're right or whatever. but that doesn't turn out to be the real, spoiler alert, not the real reason they're bringing her along. It's not exactly clear why in the end still, because the explanation is not very clear anyways, but there's also some secret reasons why the other scientists, the rival scientists, once they're there, bum, bum, bum. And so they're like, we're going to fly through Bangor, Maine, and then head right up to the Hubris at the North Pole. So they're flying along. Weirdly, they show a map not going through Bangor, Maine. Not sure why. Kind of weird, straight from New York City. But they're flying up, and it's got all kinds of snow everywhere, and they're like, looking pretty rough up here. And they're like, should we be sure that the ice like is okay for landing? And the scientist is like, no, it's fine. And David Keith's like, I think we should probably do that. And he's like, pilots, do you have enough gas to do this, like, turn around and check this out? And the pilots are like, not really. I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to make it to Alaska or whatever. And it's like, see? So get it he. So they try to land, and they run straight into an iceberg or whatever. And both the pilots die, and everything's like to shit. So right away, we know this other scientist is just a complete dick and just sucks. Basically, he's like super arrogant, and he's just awful. And so they're like, good job, bro. Let's get in there. Let's go into the Hubris and leave these dead pilots here, whatever. And so they head into the Hubris, and everything is totally destroyed. People are gross and burned and stuff, and they're like, gross. And they're like putting all the people into like the freezer or whatever. And they're like, this
There's a
sucks.
funny part here when they're going around finding all these dead bodies. Like the music suddenly changes, and I don't know if any of you guys noticed this, but we got this really tasty hi-hat performance, and I've got it right here for you.
Good. Ooh.
More of these fried dead dudes, man.
Just like the others.
Computer's dead.
No idea why that was in there, but I loved every second of it.
That was pretty great.
Like it was so loud in comparison to everything else. It's like, why is that? What's going on here? Anyways,
Yeah.
Continue.
They put away all the dead bodies, and they're basically like, all right, well, what are we doing here anyways? They get the power up and running. They kind of see the weird like sound that was heard. And Dr. Ann Fletcher's like, that's weird. I'm so close to decoding this before, I should probably get back to trying that. Like we should, try to make sure that we get all the information that we can. And they kind of leave at this point. I think they leave the other doctor to his own devices in the main.
Well, right now
area.
everybody's like, what is actually really going on up here? Because they think that Dr. Ann Fletcher knows something that she's not telling them. And she gives it like a really over-the-top answer. And then our Steve Buscemi comes in. Classic. I think you mentioned this in bad movies all the time, right, Jamie? Somebody has to like explicitly spell it out for us.
Right. Is it expositioning?
So let me understand your theory. You think giant electrical eels open the Polaris Rift to melt the ice caps and are now sending signals to someone in space?
Yeah, I
That is
laughed at that.
perfect.
I laughed at that a lot in the movie.
Oh my gosh. It's like perfect.
It's like,
and that's
oh.
literally what she just told us.
Yeah, like I'm the idiot audience member. I got it.
Yeah.
And so, what happened? Do they fire something off real quick? Like, do they get attacked quickly before
They fire a probe.
Yeah, they
'Cause
fire
they're
something.
like,
fire
let's
something out
shoot
there,
a probe into that trench and see what's really going on.
and that kind of wakes up the eels, and they come out of the trench, and they show up, and they're like pretty scary. But Dr. Ann Fletcher like gets in contact with one of them, and
It comes up through the dive pool, and yeah, they do some kind of Vulcan mind meld, and
Right.
like
she knows
there's
like
some stuff
everything
going on, man.
She knows everything all about
another
it.
straight ripoff from The Abyss.
It's a very Abyss like for a lot of the sequence. And so she kind of understands a whole bunch of what's going on. It's like they're not here to harm us, really. I mean, technically they are, because they're trying to melt the ice caps and like make the whole world ocean so they can like bring all their people there. And they're basically like, humans don't we don't care about them. So I think Dr. Ann Fletcher has some work to do with the eels. But she's kind of like they are here for peace. They're not here to like just destroy everything. They are here to live, and we could live in harmony together. And so she gets like hard to work at this point at like trying to crack this code. And David Keith, her ex-husband, comes up and is like, "You're working too hard. You look a little tense," and comes up and is like massaging her, and it's like they're like flirty, and he's like, "Why did you leave me?" And they're having like kind of tough conversations, but also like there's like a little flirtiness to it. You know what I'm talking about, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And they start making out hard, and I'm talking hard.
Oh, yeah. The type of stuff where you throw someone on a desk and ruffle all their papers around. And you're like, dude, that was my research. How am I ever going to get this back in order? I didn't staple any of it.
It's true. And it picks her right up.
They shared a bottle of whiskey together, so second base.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That they did.
And I wouldn't necessarily I think maybe he's technically the captain, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about, guys.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But the other rival doctor at the same time is like, you know what? F this noise. We're going to do a little test. He tells the other two guys, like, I need a probe. We need to go through like the whatever. Like, so, how about you break through the ice and put up a satellite? And the guy's like, shit, I don't want to do that because I'm going to get killed by the eels. And the guy's like, come on, just do it. It's fine. And so he's like, okay. And so he gets all pumped up. And Kyle, you got this clip for me?
Oh, I got the clip, man.
Oh, boy. This is my favorite moment of the movie.
It's so great because he's getting ready to head out into the mini sub,
Hyped.
risk his life. And him and Steve Buscemi, they're bros.
Okay, you got 4 icebreakers loaded in the tube. Blow a hole, launch a radio buoy.
Got it.
MIT PhD pussy.
Just to be clear for the audience who, if you didn't hear that, they said to hype themselves up, they said 3 words in a row, MIT, PhD, and then, obviously, pussy.
So that's what you say to what? Like to just kick ass? I don't get it.
I mean, I guess. It just seems like the words
Is there an
don't
Urban
really
Dictionary
make sense.
on that? If not,
Well, we can create it.
all right, good.
No. That's going to be my first post to the Reddit subreddit.
Yeah, I was going to say, this needs to be to the discussion people. Use the subreddit for that.
Right. So anyways, he goes out there, and despite all the hype up and the MIT PhD pussy like power that he's got, if you will, he goes out there. He's sending off these icebreakers into the ice, and everything seems okay until the eels come out and basically start attacking his mini sub. And David Keith's like, "What the fuck? Like, why did you do this? Rival doctor, you're an asshole. He obviously was getting in trouble." And he's trying to tell him, like, just calm down, make yourself not threatening, and everything's going to be like fine. But they're damaging his mini sub, and everything's looking really shitty. And so he eventually like breaks and is like, "No, I gotta like make my last stand." And he tries to use his mini sub to like launch a torpedo or whatever, and he gets
Also at the same time,
killed.
This is really amazing because I've got him in my notes. I totally forgot to mention his SBJ, Steve Buscemi Jr. And he is like totally insubordinate at this point because David Keith is like, you don't shoot a torpedo off at them. And he's like, I'm okay for a while. And then he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to shoot this off.
Right.
And I don't know what he was trying to do. Luckily, his buddy was dead.
Right.
By this point, but that torpedo makes direct contact with the mini sub, just completely blows it up. I was like, what the hell was that, man?
And the mini sub's torpedo
hits the hubris.
It's the hubris.
And like messes with the entry point, the doorway into the hubris. Because the hubris is like attached to the ice and they could get out anytime they wanted. But they basically, the torpedo punches a hole in the top of it and floods that exit point.
Which I'm glad. All right. So they did bring it up here. Also, David Keith was like, if you needed a comms link on the ice, why didn't you send him up that shaft?
Right, exactly. So stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah, so basically it's clear like the rival scientist wanted to do this as a test, basically sacrifice this guy and see if the eels would come out again if he shot anything off. Like, is it only into the trench? Is it up into this thing? Really, it's like just a very sound scientific method at this point. Like, he was testing a hypothesis, and David Keith shouldn't be so uptight about that, right?
Right. It's only lives that are at stake.
Right. Okay. And so David Keith's like, cut it out. We ain't dealing with this shit anymore. Okay. But the rival doctor's got one more trick up his sleeve, which is basically using this like satellite link. He lets the UN know. Ugh, right? UN sucks, guys.
The worst.
Oh boy. And he's like, and the UN's basically like, everything's garbage up there. We gotta nuke it. And the UN's like, yep. Yes. And they all say yes. And they're like, done. So they send 1 million subs up that way. Now we get a
Something
some
that's also
images.
funny with the UN at this point is we have moved out of the auditorium and we are now what looks like the lobby that you would get into the auditorium in the high school.
And they're all sitting
That's where you're at, and that's the command center.
Right.
It's incredible.
They're all sitting in front of giant desktop computers, like every single person in the room. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. There's no way they were all powered on, right? I mean,
what?
There's no way.
Anyways. And so they authorize this launch. There are a whole bunch of submarines that go up there, including that Seawolf, Jimmy Carter, that we saw in the first place, and then a bunch of Russian ones. And basically it's a whole it's like a unity of nations have come together to destroy the hubris and David Keith specifically. So they're going to launch all their torpedoes. And they do. And basically the scientist, at this point, the scientist's plan and explanation is crazy. He's basically like, and this is, of course, according to my plan, in which case we will all die. And David Keith's like, what? Why is that the plan? And he's like, and that's why I brought your wife here too, because if I was going to go down, she'd also go down, or more or less is what he says. Like, if I was going to die, she'd die too. That's how I win. And it's like, what is happening? Why is that the plan? The plan should never be to die. Like, come on. He seems super psyched about being sacrificed for the sake of closing up this. He's like, yeah, that's how it'll be proven right. It's like, you're going to be dead, man. Like, you're not going to be proven anything.
He totally bitches out when the time comes to die, though.
No, yeah.
Like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? So, basically, right now, with all these nuclear torpedoes headed towards the Polaris Trench, Anne and David Keith, we don't even know his character name.
No.
They're out, and they took like a second mini sub out.
Yeah.
They're out and about, perusing, trying to talk with the aliens, make best buddies.
Yeah, because originally the plan was to break the code and try to like communicate directly with them, but she didn't have time. She wasn't able to do that yet. So they're in the mini sub, kind of just like trying to cruise as far away as they can before the nukes hit.
Yeah, they are. And the electric eels start shocking the hubris. And then this is when our doctor's like, oh, no, oh, please come help me. Oh, no, it hurts so bad.
Yeah, it's exactly what he sounded like. And I think is Steve Buscemi Jr. dead at this point?
SBJ, sorry. Yeah. I don't know.
He got.
Does he ever die?
Yes. He died at this point because when they were shocking, it flooded most of the hubris, and he got swept away by a wave. That's what I remember.
Oh, okay. He should have surfed that out of there. That would have been pretty clutch.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a Escape from LA type situation.
Right into an eel's mouth.
Weirdly, also a movie starring Steve Buscemi. Except Steve Buscemi wasn't the one surfing. In this case, we're describing a double Buscemi scenario. Boy. Anyways, for whatever reason, they're like, okay, we're in this mini sub. We could maybe get away, but we're hearing this other scientist, and you know what? We got to go fucking back. So they go back.
I was so mad. I was like, for real? You guys are going to go back for this guy right now?
Turned out to be the right choice, though. I think they probably would have died in the mini sub anyways. I think that's kind of like
whatever, right?
So they go back and they're like, all right, man, we came back for you. Don't be a dick about this. Except that he is. And he jumps right into that mini sub and cruises away like a total bozo. It's like, shit. And they're like, we're fucked. That guy's dead anyways. There's no way he gets away now. Because it's just there's not enough time at this point for him to get away from the blast or the eels, whatever. Even at that point, I think they were discussing the fact that they wouldn't have even taken the mini sub anyways. And they, but she's like, you know what? I could still communicate with them. And she does her last ditch effort of communicating, like cracking the code. And she's able to crack the code and talks with them. And they're like, oh, we don't even care about Earth. We don't care about human beings. And she's like, no, like everything's like, okay, everything's fine. And the eels are like, oh no, yeah. The eels are like, oh no, we were distracted by that dastardly scientist. So we're going to actually be killed by the blasts, the torpedoes. Like, that's terrible. And Dr. Ann Fletcher's like, wait a second, I got an idea. And she goes to David Keith and is like, we're going to get the eels into the hubris, which can survive the blast. We're going to fill it with water. They're going to get in and they're going to totally survive the blast. And he's like, well, but how do we survive? And they're like, okay, well, we'll detach the hubris and we're going to use it like a submarine. So now, not only have we had regular submarines firing torpedoes, aka fish, aka eels, aka eel birds, they call it at one point, but we've got mini subs, and now we got a giant fucking underwater base as a submarine cruising around. And I
mean, they can't move very great.
No, but
they're down.
Yeah, they're able to use some of their power to keep from crashing all the way to the bottom of the ocean. And then
electric eel power, man.
What happens at the end? I'm forgetting.
Dude, the eels
they run out of
think
power.
Happy thoughts with their electricity minds, and they make everything okay.
Yeah, they run out of power, and the hubris starts sinking to the bottom of the ocean, but then the eels swim into the hubris, and they use their happy thought electricity to power the hubris back up, and they're able to ascend.
Oh, that's right. They break through the ice.
Yes.
And they climb out, and the eels are happy. The rival scientist has been killed
And
in the mini sub.
And the good guys somehow navigate through the flooded escape hatch
Somehow.
filled with
they get out.
freezing water.
And then they make out hard at the North Pole.
And go back to Sugar Bush, Maine.
100%. And then they're basically like, they convince the entire UN, the dastardly evil UN, they convince them, you know what we saw up there? Pretty much nukes worked, and it's super radioactive. Don't even test it. And the UN's like, sounds good to us. All agreed, never test it, never go up there. All agreed. And they all agreed to never go up and check whether anything's up there worth exploring and whether any eels might be contained in a base of some sort. The end.
That's it?
Wow.
Hell of a movie.
And that all came in at under 3 hours?
This recap, I think it was just over 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But that's it.
Should we get into some reviews here?
I would love to hear some reviews, specifically not mine and mostly your guys before I go.
So Jamie's last.
Okay.
I can go first. I'll keep this real simple.
There he is.
So I'm just gonna rate. I'm just gonna come in and say this is like a 2 for me. The movie sucked. The story sucked. The acting was subpar. So I know that they're decent actors and actresses. So I think you could get a lot better out of it. So then you got to look to the directing. So that probably is a leading factor here. The story was all over the place. I felt like they kind of start one little story and not explain everything, I guess, or like a little side story or give you the whole picture. And it was just really frustrating for me. Lost my interest multiple times. Didn't like it. Don't recommend it. Submarine action. I mean, well, what was the submarine action? It was that
Everything.
clearly,
What was it?
it clearly like no, because they had those other submarines, right? But you weren't in a submarine. It looked like a '90s attraction, like theme park kind of thing when you're waiting in line to go into a ride. You know, and they got those stupid TVs set up with the dumb lights and everything. That's what it looked like. And
You're painting a very nice word picture.
the mini sub action was fine, I guess, but other than that, didn't like it. I'm gonna stick with the 2. Don't recommend it. I hope no one else watches it because I'm never going to watch it again.
He brought it.
Wow.
That's
lot of hate.
2 out of 12. Just so we're clear.
I think it's the hate out of the love it or hate it.
All right,
good.
I'll jump in here. I agree wholeheartedly with Alex. I'll be very concise with this in saying that this one just did not have many merits. It's a bad movie, and it's one of those that wasn't so bad that it started to become good. There really wasn't too many funny moments. I think the MIT PhD pussy was one that I reacted to as well, and there's maybe one or two other little moments that were kind of funny, but it really came across as very derivative of The Abyss while being way stupider. The plot didn't make any sense, and the production quality was terrible. I don't think I need to say much more. I'll just conclude there and say I'm going to also give this a 2.
Bam.
Nice.
All right, I'm jumping in.
Wow.
Here comes your boy Zach. Okay. Deep shock. What can I say that hasn't already been said? So, I would say, movie's not good. We've established
That has been said.
All right, damn it, you're right.
just for clarity, that has been said.
No, it's here's something that hasn't been said. I knew this movie was going off the rails pretty quick, but when the scene happened, when the eel, I'm pretty sure, came out of the water and was interacting with, wasn't she the only female cast member? And that felt to me like, I mean, it probably got ripped off of multiple movies, but my mind went to Independence Day, right? Like when they're talking with the alien and it wraps it around his throat. Like, I was like, here's this eel.
Like the release me.
Yeah.
Part,
Like,
that part of the movie?
Release me. Like I was almost, I swear to God, I was watching this. I was thinking like, dude, if this eel wraps around her throat and starts talking with her, I'm going to lose my shit. Actually, I probably would have rated it higher if that happened. But nah, dude, like this wasn't good. Like I get it. It's a sci-fi film, an hour and a half long, made for TV. You don't expect much, but you would expect more than this. That hour and a half felt like 2 hours and a half to me. And like I said at the beginning, the movie poster makes it look like it's one giant killer eel when it's just like a bunch of little baby eels, which even led me to believe maybe it's just the baby eels. And at the end of the movie, we're going to see the big mama and then it's going to like fade to black and there's a sequel. No, that doesn't happen.
God, you were thinking about it way too hard.
I was. And that's my mistake. Think less. So, what did you guys both give it a 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I'm going to give it... You know what? Let's do something I've never done before. I'm going equal. 2. Let's see what Kyle and Jamie do.
Ooh.
Wow.
Pressure's on now. Are we going to have the first ever same
What do you
ratings?
mean? What do you mean equal?
You know, equal. Like it's all
same.
twos.
We're all the same.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know if that's ever been done before. We can ask our guy Brom, but
Almost right now.
The pressure is on you two guys right now.
see. So that means any disappointment the listeners find is because of you two, not us.
Great.
Right.
Okay. Don't peer pressure me. I agree with Brom. This movie totally ripped off The Abyss. I thought that when I was watching it. I thought, we've seen this before, done in the same exact quality, same exact story. Everything is the same.
Yeah, benevolent alien creatures, curly-haired brunette scientist.
Yep.
Time is a flat circle.
Yes, it is. And SBJ, I liked him. That's fine. I thought David Keith and Simone were fine in their roles. I did not like the other, like the little wimpy scientist guy, and the guy who got killed wasn't a fabulous actor.
Yeah, that's
Chomsky?
weird. No, Chomsky's a scientist, but the guy who said MIT PhD pussy was Steve
okay.
Buscemi Jr. That
Yeah.
guy is an actor you've never seen and probably will never see again, I presume.
The UN was just like, why? Why did they do this? Why did they have these giant sweeping shots of this empty auditorium. We're like, wow, did we paid a local high school $500 to use this for the weekend? Let's make the most out of this. And I was like, what the hell, that part was goofy. Make up a town in Maine. Why? I don't know. You could have put anywhere. It wouldn't have mattered. Whatever. The CGI was so bad. So bad.
How bad?
So bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were eels, they were dragons, they were aliens. I don't know what the hell they were.
I think this is a good point to mention. Did we even mention this is Mega Monster Movie Month? This is the first week.
Mega monster. You look at that poster, like Zach said, you think mega monster.
Yeah. These
I look at it and say, who knows how big that eel is?
My
Jamie,
ass,
give it a rest, Jamie.
Look at that poster.
Give it a rest, Jamie.
That thing looks huge, man. It looks huge. It looks like
you know what? This is a 2D picture. I can't tell.
It's all about the angles, Kyle. They were just playing the angles.
Yeah, you can't be an angle side, guys. Come on.
Okay. Oh man. Do I want to match you guys at a 2?
Yeah.
You know you want to.
I do. I'll match you at a 2.
Whoa! Because I'm going to ruin it. Get out of here, guys. I ain't giving it a 2. I'm giving it higher. I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going to be the highest of all of you because of MIT PhD Pussy, which took it from a 2 straight to a 3. This movie is not good, but I did have fun watching portions of it, not all of it. It's not quite a 3.5 Steel Sharks Lucky Coin scenario, but it's close to that. And
it's amazing how iconic Steel Sharks has been, because that's always been my measure for movies that are around the 3 mark. Is do I like it less or more than Steel Sharks?
And I like this less, but not that much less. And I think it is funny in some ways. Some of the lines are funny. Some of the acting is funny. It's not like some of the other ones we've seen where the acting is totally nobody's. These are legitimate actors who were doing a role and making a sci-fi movie picture. So that's not so crazy. And one thing I did kind of like from this is that you're sitting at 2003, which is right on the boundary, I think, between kind of all practical, like Agent Red type movies of the 90s, like these action movies from the 90s, and then full-blown like CGI everywhere, Sharknado type stuff of the 2000s, mid 2000s to late 2000s. This kind of fits in between. So you have a bunch of practical stuff going on, but you also have terrible CGI water and these like ridiculous looking eels. So kind of an interesting movie from that point of view too, kind of sitting between those two worlds. But so I was going to come in at a 3. You guys convinced me to stick where I was at 3.
Wow.
That was my original thought, but then as they were going on, and I just sat there and thought about how long it felt.
Yep.
Like Zach had mentioned, I was like, yeah, this felt a lot longer than an hour and a half for me.
Zach made like 104 Reddit posts during this movie. That's a long movie.
That's outrageous. Now I'll say, there's a movie like The Abyss, similar to this, that we didn't get to watch for Submersion because it doesn't have a sub in it, unfortunately. But I would recommend to you guys, to listeners, it's from 1989 called Leviathan, starring Peter Weller. I'd recommend checking that one out. It's good, actually. I mean, it's not great rated. I will say that, but if you're into this type of movie, it's definitely a fun watch.
Now, Kyle, that's going to segue directly into love it or hate it, because one of those reviews mentions that movie.
No way. Are you serious?
I swear.
We didn't even. All right, guys. Just to be clear, we did not discuss this at all ahead of time. I mean, that's outrageous.
As soon as you said Leviathan, I'm like, oh, this is going to be perfect. All right. Are we ready for love it, hate it?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay. Love it or hate it? I'll let you decide which one I read first. This is by Succotash, January 2004. The title of his review? Deep Snore. Deep Shh is more like it.
Oh.
The eels are just cartooned in over the film. Think The Incredible Mr. Limpet meets Leviathan.
Wait. No. Did you write this?
No, I swear
You
to
wrote
God.
this.
I swear
We're
to
talking
God.
about a hell of a movie,
Guys,
there,
when I
actually.
read this review, I was like, this is absolutely the one I'm using. I did not write this. Think The Incredible Mr. Limpet meets Leviathan. Very tacky. No character or relationship development. So-called romantic scenes, very corny and predictable. An interesting idea, but a poorly written script and lousy special effects make this a definite must miss. 1 out of 10.
Wow.
Strong. I couldn't have said it any better.
That was Succotash. Now, normally I would come at this point and read you a 10 out of 10 review. Although, IMDb had no 10 out of 10 reviews. So I had to venture to some little website called Amazon and find a 5 out of 5 star review. You know, now do stars translate to IMDb, Amazon? I don't know. That's not here or there. Take it to the thread. Take it to the comments. Reddit people.
Get on that. Get on that subreddit.
There's going to be a whole other post talking about conversions from our subs that sometimes use 10 or 12 inches and 5 stars
Yeah.
or whatever. It's going to be
What
confusing
ratings
to
do you
everybody.
find most accurate?
Okay, here's a 5 out of 5 star rating by Frank Bylina, 2015. The title, This Another of Those Movies That I Will Never Forget. This is also a verified purchase, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know it's not fake.
Good.
We can't be spreading fake podcasts, you know. All right. I'm going to read this word for word. Bear with me here. This another of those movies that I will never get tired of watching. The actors in this movie really know how to play their parts, and the special effects are dynamite. I have also watched this movie several times before purchasing it, and believe me, being on a fixed income, collecting Social Security disability leaves no room for purchasing items that will just sit on a shelf and collect
my
dust.
God.
5 out of 5.
Well,
That's sad.
Frank Bylina. Thank you, Frank.
The bare necessities.
Good to the best whatever, guys. That was
all right.
He's had to review other stuff, right?
True.
look 'em
He's
up.
become a huge fan. It's like, I think I got another subreddit that you can create.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, should I get into some trivia?
Let's do it.
All right. So originally, the eels in the film were going to be created by the American CGI by an American CGI team, and looked similar to a giant moray eel, with a more sinister grin. I think similar to what's on the poster. But to save money, that eel was scrapped, and the work was handed to a Bulgarian CGI team, which is also where this was filmed. So, anyone know the capital of Bulgaria?
nope.
Is it Budapest?
That is Hungary. Nope.
Dang it.
That's a good guess. I don't know.
It is Sofia,
Oh,
where this was also filmed.
never would have got it.
Man.
When a
You got to
torpedo...
ask me when I was in 7th grade. Jimmy.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
when all that stuff was
These
going
are,
on. Right?
yeah, I thought, see, this one, I gave some very straightforward questions this time. And that was one of them. And I was like, I wonder if anyone will actually know the capital of Bulgaria. And it's a tough one. So when a torpedo is launched, the head of the Hubris Science Complex, who is addressed as commander, which is a naval rank, informs the United Nations Command Center saying, bird away. Torpedoes are always referred by the slang term fish by naval personnel, although we've heard it also as eel, which would have been appropriate here. While it's non-naval military personnel refer to guided missiles as birds. So they seem like they missed the opportunity to use the term eel, given the context. What is a baby eel called? Anyone know what a baby eel is called?
A squip.
That's close. Good guess.
Really?
No, it's not close. Yeah, it's not close.
Okay.
Squip a baby eel.
Baby eel.
Call it a squirm.
Also
Squirt.
close.
I'll call it a squirt.
Also close. These are all close because the actual answer is an elver. An elver.
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 Barely even knew her. All right.
There we go.
Resembles a Tolkien character.
Yeah.
And then the director of this film was Philip J. Roth. He put this name he filmed this under the name Paul Joshua Rubin. I'm not sure why. Now he was also the writer and producer of another submersion film. Does anyone remember which film he was involved with?
Please tell me it's Dark Descent.
It is Dark Descent. He was the writer and producer of Dark Descent. Now,
Kyle, nice.
he was also a director of a film, me and you, Kyle, hold near and dear to our heart because we spent months trying to get it on VHS.
No way.
He's the director of Red Snow.
Seriously.
Yep. He made Red Snow.
Now, this is just an aside. Have you watched that yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, good. I was like, we got to watch that together.
I think what I was
really
thinking,
wanna see
what I was going to
that.
do is potentially to get a sheet and a projector and project it and have like a drive-in movie type thing with Red Snow. What do you think?
Oh, that'd be incredible. Dude, do it on your lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Make popcorn, all that good stuff.
Yep. Social
all invited?
distancing. Sure. Yeah.
All right, road trip.
Jamie, you could have segued
Right.
that into invite to Zach's wedding.
I don't know. Is that being postponed because of COVID?
Yes, it is.
There we go. So there we go. I got more
Wait,
time.
that's we've been waiting to hear that for like 3 weeks, Zach, ever since you brought it up recently.
More time for me to convince him to invite me to the wedding.
I'll send something more official, Alex. Don't worry.
Wow, breaking news by Jamie.
No, that
there.
is breaking news. Oops. When you just admitted that, I was like, wait, what? We haven't even heard that.
I mean,
We're in it.
let's say we made some finalizations tonight. We heard back from the last person we needed to hear back about postponing our DJ. So,
Ooh.
and
You know what?
info's coming.
We could cut this if necessary, Kyle.
You should save that and reveal it on the episode so all our friends have to listen to the episode to figure out when the wedding is.
It's a good call.
Oh, please, they're not going to listen.
And then
Alex, oh ye of little faith.
I got another trivia here. Who is the only president to qualify for service on a submarine? He served on the USS Pomfret from 1948 to 1951.
Clinton.
And you gotta think,
Woodrow,
why? But why would
paddle.
I be asking the question?
Oh, Jimmy Carter.
It's Jimmy Carter. And that's part of the reason why he got named. He was the only president who had a submarine named after him, only the third person ever to have a submarine named after him, and the first living person ever to have a submarine named after him when he had the third and final Seawolf class submarine named the USS Jimmy Carter. That was quote unquote featured in this film. And then the final question from the trivia, which is directly from Jeopardy. Shock treatment for epilepsy was once administered using this freshwater fish, Malapterus electricus.
An eel?
What is the electric eel?
That is wrong. Not true. Not
What
the
is
case.
the moray eel?
No, not true. Not the answer.
The manta
What
ray.
is the,
Not the answer. Not the manta
Penguins.
ray.
What is
Not a
giant
penguin?
electric
jellyfish?
squid.
what is
Not
the
a
man of
jellyfish.
war?
Not a
What
man
is
of
the-
war.
Aliens.
Nope. This is impossible to get.
What's that fish with the little light hanging off in front of its head?
The
That's an
angler
angler
fish.
fish.
Anglerfish, yep. So it's an electric catfish.
What?
Yep. Sounded not real to me, and then I looked it up. True.
Sounds like a
Electric
gamer
catfish.
name.
All right, I'm going to finish up with a little.
You say epilepsy was treated with that?
Yeah, that's what I said. Got to let your wife know.
I am. Talk to her about doing some research. Bring it back.
Bring it on back.
Bring some
All right.
electric catfish into the bedroom.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Whiskers go everywhere, my friend.
All right. I'm going to finish up with a little Phantom Zone.
Engage the Phantom.
Phantoms engaged, sir.
All right. So this one's easy. Once I saw David Keith was in the cast, I was like, I know that guy. He was in U571, and I've done that before for this. So it's pretty easy, and we can just answer the question, where would Ed Harris have played a good role here?
The same role that he played in The Abyss.
That's true, actually. It's the same. He is David Keith, right?
Yep.
I'd say give him every role and just see what happens.
Ooh.
Oh my
a good one.
gosh. Ed on that desk.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like cheap quality, so like the stunt double is just wearing like a plastic Ed Harris mask.
Yeah, like a latex mask. And it's not even like properly attached. You can see hair sticking out. You're like, oh, whoa.
In the middle of it, he just rips the mask off anyways.
This is appropriate.
sense.
And it's an eel. Holy shit.
It's already
That'd actually
a
be
better
pretty
movie.
good. That would be a pretty good movie.
That would get a 10 out of 10.
All right, it is appropriate that we're asking this question about Ed Harris because he does have a connection to this film. Does anyone know what it was?
He's an electric catfish fisherman.
No. So
He went to MIT and smashed puss.
yes, very close. So
Got a
he
PhD.
got his PhD in pussy from MIT. Same as what the characters apparently in this were. And yeah, so he had his dissertation was received in, he passed it in 1992. It was titled Theory of the Universal Pushy Function. Sorry. And it details the quantum state of the totality of pussy. So, I don't think it make too many waves, but, maybe with this podcast, we can bring back the theory and see if we can't promote it more, you know?
Put it to the Reddit, subreddit thing.
Discuss it.
Get on it, King.
Wait, do I have to now write like a full dissertation, fake dissertation to post to the Reddit? That seems like a lot.
And have people debate it.
I mean, you did get Steel Sharks socially relevant on a subreddit or a Wikipedia page.
Wikipedia, yeah, it does have a Wikipedia page, thanks to me. So
I feel like you are the man for the job.
Does Deep Shock have a Wikipedia page?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I was looking
Okay,
up stuff.
all right.
Yep.
All right.
The Nile catfish, electric catfish, excuse me, has up to 350 volts it can shock someone with.
Damn.
Is that a lot?
Wait, you said it could shock with, so does it choose who it shocks? Or if you just grab it, does it just shock anything?
No, that's just a fact. It could go up to 350 volts.
Okay.
If it felt like
You guys better get ready then. You better be excited.
There are some other fish that can only do 1 volt, though.
They
That's
sound
nothing.
lame.
I hope I'm not getting into your stuff, Kyle. Sounds right up your alley.
Not at all. You are leading right into it. Electric eels. World wide. All right, so this movie dealt with giant alien electric eels. Something that I never thought those words would come out of my mouth in that combination. I don't know how high someone was when they made this movie or came up with that idea, but I appreciate it. So now we're going to talk a little bit about electric eels, which, as Jamie kind of alluded to, Alex just alluded to, the electric eel is not actually an eel at all. It is a species of knife fish and is more closely related to a catfish.
Oh,
than an
wow.
eel. Yes. They are found in South America in the Amazon and Orinoco River basins, and this predator fish feeds on other fish, small mammals, and invertebrates like crabs and shrimp. They have a lifespan of 15 years. Actually, I should ask you guys some of these questions. How big do you think an electric eel gets?
7 feet.
Okay. Anybody else?
7 feet 1 inch.
Damn it.
Okay. All
Just
right.
a dick.
7 foot and like a half inch. I'll go right in between.
Okay. You're really playing that
13
one
feet.
tough.
13.
Okay. I guess I give it to Alex. They grow between 6 to 8 feet long.
Oh, what the hell?
Well, you guys are all in that range,
I
so
guessed in the
whatever.
middle of it.
Yeah, I know. You did. I was like, what the hell? How heavy do you think they get?
48 pounds.
49 pounds.
48 and a half pounds.
So I got 7 feet.
13 kilos, Bob.
Googling it
50.
over there.
No,
Yeah, kilos.
I'm not Googling. 58 pounds.
Okay.
I'm not
nobody
Googling
gets
Siri.
it, and I won't tell you because you didn't get it. So
Ah,
I'm just kidding. 44 pounds. You're close.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shockingly close. Shockingly
So
I
close.
can't
How
believe we
many,
were that close.
I've
You
held
guys
one
are-
before.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. What the hell?
It was shocking.
Anyways, how many volts did you say that catfish could put out? Like 350?
I think it was like 400 or something.
That was the Appalachian Times. I don't know if I would really trust that website.
What? Okay,
That's what it
whatever.
said.
So, anyways, there was a species of electric eel that was just discovered last year, 2019. Articles and stuff from November, and I mean, this is recent. This is good stuff. They can put out as high as 860 volts,
Wow.
and
That
I was
could
really trying to.
that could do some work to someone.
Yeah, isn't like
Yeah, I was
isn't
trying
like
to
an
fi-
outlet like 120 volts or something like that, like your standard outlet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's all different stuff. Like it's not necessarily the volts; it's the amperage and whatever that really has the effect. So I'm not an electrician,
Oh,
but I can pretend to be one. So, anyways, I did look up what this is similar to. People said that the shock of this eel is similar to that of a stun gun. So, like a single shock is not necessarily fatal, but it's enough to stun you. Where if you were in shallow water, you could easily drown if you go down, and multiple shocks could potentially give you some heart damage and maybe kill you. So it's not always fatal, but there are rare situations where people do die from electric eels.
so putting
Yeah.
one in someone's bed as a prank would be unwise.
Well,
Well,
it
if
all
you sleep on a
depends.
waterbed.
You don't want to.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to be in a waterbed, and you've got that plastic barrier, right? So
If you pour
never
like
know
a
what it
cup
might
of
do to
warm
them.
water on them, and then throw it in bed
Mhm.
with them, that might get them, and it might make them
you throw
wet
a
the bed.
44-pound electric catfish at somebody. I think you got them. I think you got them good. Anyways, anybody know their conservation status?
extinct.
Rare.
Endangered.
Compromised or whatever the middle one
Oh,
is.
guys, don't worry. They are least concern.
Nice. Good for
Yeah.
them.
Let's go hunting
I know, right?
Let's go
or
hunt.
fishing.
Hunting? No, we're gonna go hunting with shotguns.
Actually,
There's an
all
eel.
that could be possible. So, anyways, the electric eel breathes air through. I don't know, Jamie. Maybe you can pronounce this correct. Is it buccal or buccal pumping? Whatever. Come on,
I
you're a
know what
scientist.
Alex and Zach are thinking.
Alex.
Yeah, I know what they're thinking. Yeah,
Buka?
yeah.
Butt cake.
Anyways, so the best way to describe this is, how you see a frog puff out its chin, whatever that is, that big air sac, and then it like sucks in. So what that does is it's sucking air in, and then when it goes in, it's forcing the air into its buccal cavity, whatever. And then when it's turned to exhale it, it first moves it back in its chin, and then it spits it out. So they actually have to come up to the surface every 10 minutes or so to get air. So, Zach, you could hunt these with a shotgun if you wanted, I guess.
It doesn't take much effort. 10 minutes, that's nothing.
Yeah, I know. You're just like waiting. Like, okay. I don't know how kosher that is. Or if, I don't know the rules and regs on fishing, hunting electric eels, especially with a firearm. These fish have no scales, and they are capable, well, that one can emit up to 860 volts. They are able to emit both low and high voltage. So the low voltage charges are what they use to see, quote unquote, around them. Think of it like a radar sonar type system where they're using the electric field to sense what's around them. High voltage, obviously killing, defending themselves, all that good stuff. And fun fact for you, the Tennessee Aquarium has a Twitter page dedicated to their electric eel, Miguel Watson.
Ooh.
And whenever his voltage spikes, gets to a certain level, there's a computer that is hooked up to his tank, and it'll automatically send out a tweet.
Wait, seriously?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the Twitter handle is Electric Miguel. And it's funny because like you'll just see all these things. You'll say like zap, pow, zap. So it's got like 10. It has a decent amount of followers.
What's it called again, Kyle?
Electric Miguel.
We're gonna do a live update and see what's going on with electric. How do you spell Miguel?
Miguel.
There it is. I'm not seeing anything, Kyle.
Nothing?
Wait, I spelled electric wrong. All right, there it is. Miguel Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 T's, so I'm not related to this.
I know, not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
But you look at so the last zap.
May
I don't know
7th.
what's going on here. Like April 14th. It's been a while since we had a good zap.
Sorry, that wasn't actually a shock. I just had a brilliant idea. That was April 15th. Zing! April 14th. April 13th. Buzz. This is like an old Batman
what
show.
was it up to?
Buzz, pow, boom, zap, zing.
Really zapping for a while, and then it stopped.
I'm following this.
Yeah. 40,000 followers, so.
Oh my God.
It's a hell of a fish.
Something happened to Miguel, I bet.
Dude, I like his little
Sabotage.
cartoony artwork there.
You know what? It's COVID. It's COVID. Probably it went bust around COVID.
You think so?
I think so.
Makes you wonder then, is somebody actually running the computer or is Miguel running the computer?
I bet the zoo's closed. And they shut the Twitter down.
Come on. Can't shut that down.
It's my
Can't
guess.
shut him down. Anyway, that's all I got. So,
Free speech. Free Miguel.
yeah, let Miguel tweet. Let him do what he loves to do.
What they need to do is put him in a tank and take him cross country, and so people can actually see Miguel.
now,
idea.
I would go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, if we got word, they're like, yeah, Miguel Watson's going to be at Mall of America. I'd be like, Jamie, we're going to
I would not go to that.
Come on, man. You wouldn't go get your photo with Miguel?
Kyle, I'd be tempted to drive out there
Depends on
and
the
go
day.
there with you because get a shirt, a hat, paint my face.
Like an eel?
Like an eel.
Miguel.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Manic for Miguel.
That was great.
Miguel Mania. Just says Watson for Watson. That'd be good. Anyways, yeah, that's what I got for electric eels worldwide. Alex, you got any news?
Well, not really. An article last week indicated that 75% of Americans did not know what was long, big, and full of semen.
What
Submarine.
does it?
What kind of articles are you reading here?
Well, no.
Oh, yeah.
Does it say what they thought, or like did they have a selection, or is this like a Family Feud style question, or?
I don't know. Couldn't tell. But if you thought that pun was bad, Zach always said, wait till you see mine. I did find an article talking about North Korea trying to launch their submarine here pretty soon, but it was posted a day ago, but it's got all news back from like November or in July, because I thought North Korea's leader was dead, and here it is standing in front of a giant submarine that looks like taken right off of a spy camera. But
He resurfaced, though. He is I think
Yeah.
he is still alive, allegedly.
Yeah, the Chinese came in with some superpowered electric eels and were able to get his heart started again, is what I heard.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They use the eels, not the catfish.
Catfish
Probably
too
use
weak.
this new species.
Catfish is for dinner there. Not well, I guess they eat eel too, don't they? I don't know.
That's what people go
Eel's-
to for.
eel's good,
they go to
man.
North Korea for a nice catfish dinner.
Other than that, I didn't really look too hard. Nothing else too crazy. One thing I kept seeing is, I don't know why it keeps popping up on my computer, but it's talking about some company that makes submarine parts has been heavily affected by COVID-19 and basically saying don't buy stock right now for it. So if anyone's out there listening, there you go.
Buyer beware.
Anyone else have any news? Because that's all I got.
Not really. I mean, there wasn't too much submarine movie news this week. I didn't see anything new after weeks of many news stories. There was a New York Times article that basically the Quibi, you know, that Quibi app, the short video app thing,
Yeah.
where they asked the founder like whether they could compare it to TikTok, considering how like not popular it is compared to something how popular TikTok is. And he was like, oh, that's not, you can't compare that. That's like comparing apples to submarines.
You said that?
That's a hell of a quote.
I saw where Eric Moreno showed that the Navy has unveiled laser weaponry for shooting down, I guess, like missiles, things like that.
Now, have you seen that? Like,
It's
for
pretty
years,
impressive.
there's been videos on that stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, I guess it's tested and equipped now, I think, is what he was saying. Pretty
From
crazy.
what I saw in the past, to shoot the laser, because they had like missiles coming at a warship or whatever. You know, they were testing it out. To take down the missile that was coming at them, they could shoot this laser. And back when they were doing this, it only cost 25 cents
Really?
to take it down. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
much cheaper than to fire some kind of
Other ordnance,
anti-air
yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. It seems like, you know, and it's something you can just train on a missile too, like as opposed to risking like shooting something and missing. Like you can just kind of like hone it in.
That's
and-
what they said too.
Yeah.
You don't have like the compensate for drop, anything like that. You just,
Pretty nice. I'd be crazy
It
if there's a
is.
way to just like counter like nuclear warfare.
just lasers everywhere.
Just get rid of all of it.
Laser.
Just like makes it like
Lasers.
makes them useless almost. Yeah. All right,
You ready for it?
I'm ready for this. Tube 3 ready to fire, sir.
Commence the countdown.
Give it to me.
All right, I'm pretty excited about this one. We got all five of us here too. I think there's some room to have a few laughs on this one because tonight we watched Deep Shock, and I feel like we were all probably pretty shocked by this film. So tonight, my countdown, I'm talking about the times I've been most shocked in my life. We're looking at the top 10 most shocking news and tabloid headlines of all time.
Wow.
Well, because tabloids aren't always true,
That's right. So
right?
some of
so,
the,
are
but
we going
all
to have
of
to
these
figure out which
headlines-
ones are real?
I don't necessarily know if that's necessary, but if you want to, we can do that.
Okay.
Most of these are true, except of course, yeah, when we do get into the tabloids, most of them are just like so like obvious that they're dumb, and they're pretty funny. But these are my top 10 most shocking news and tabloid headlines. Number 10, here we go. This one is Princess Diana related. Who remembers that? I remember where I was as a child when I heard about that and had to have it explained to me. But
I remember exactly where I was as well.
So do I.
Me too.
I had the Princess Diana tie beanie baby.
Me too.
But,
In your hand when you heard?
No, that would have been pretty crazy. But this, I actually, this is the only one I don't know which which news outlet this was posted in, but the headline read, Diana was still alive hours before she died.
So does that mean she didn't die like right away, or
Hours before she died.
I mean, true story.
That's grade A journalism at its right there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to cite your sources. Because, I mean, it's true. And it was shocking. Number 9, from the New York Post, statistics show that teen pregnancy drops off significantly after age 25.
What the hell?
teenage pregnancy?
Yes.
25?
Good.
I feel like it would have dropped off a few years before that. That's okay.
Hey, statistics don't lie. Number 8 is coming from the Evening Herald. Now, follow along with it. This is the longest one. Woman in sumo wrestler suit assaulted her ex-girlfriend in gay pub after she waved at man dressed as Snickers bar.
God.
Oh, what?
I'd love to see that.
I was pretty shocked when I
They
when
could
I
make a
read
movie
that one.
about that one right there.
What's it called, Kyle?
Snickerdoodle.
Nice.
That was good.
All right. Number 7. This comes from the Weekly World News. Alien Bible found. They worship Oprah.
That's
You
it.
say World Weekly News?
Weekly World News.
Oh, dude.
WWW.
I used to
Alien
buy those
Bible
all the
fan.
time just because they're so ridiculous. Bat
Is that the
Boy
one that
and
always
all that
has Bat
stuff.
Boy? Yeah, Bat Boy.
Have you heard the Bat Boy music?
Hold me, bat boy. Touch me, bat boy. I know that.
It's so good.
I have not.
It's like, oh man! All right, Brom, you've got to hear that.
All right. After don't get preoccupied right now. Send it to me after the show, because I need your full attention for number 6 here, coming from Tulsa World. Tulsa World news outlet, big news outlet down there in Tulsa. One-armed man applauds the kindness of strangers.
I'd like to see that.
That's just sick.
Kind of felt bad including that one.
Oh yeah, that's is what it is. But I mean, what the hell do they think they're doing?
All right, get your mind in the gutter, guys. We're getting back to trashy ones with number 5 here. This is from the Associated Press. So we're in the big leagues here. Number 5. Porn star sues over rear end collision.
No way.
That's real. It's real.
That's so clickbaity, isn't it?
This was in a newspaper. But number 4, Weekly World News. We're back to Weekly World News. I think this is the last tabloid on here. Saddam and Osama adopt shaved ape baby.
That's like right up Kyle's alley right there.
Saddam adopted shaved ape baby?
Saddam and Osama went in together, and they adopt a shaved ape baby.
Interesting.
I've had conversations about things like this. I mean,
That is right up your alley. Oh, I found a picture of it. Oh my goodness.
No, you did not.
They're like hugging it and Saddam's kissing it on the head.
oh my god! Put that in the pictures channel. What the hell?
There's no freaking way, dude. We gotta see this.
Oh my goodness, this cover is awesome.
All right, number 3, The Observer. A nuclear explosion would be a disaster.
Oh.
Shocking. Number 2, the Northern Daily Leader. This is an Australian publication. Their article read, think of a headline, 56-point, bold headline.
What?
Think of a headline.
Any headline?
56.4. That's something that snuck through editing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hilarious.
I was shocked, though, when I saw that made it into a publication. And finally, number 1, the Sun Media out of London. Condom truck tips, spills load.
Nice. Word up.
Dude, somebody was laughing typing that. Oh, yeah.
And that is my top 10 most shocking news and tabloid headlines.
Oh, very good.
Next week, for those that want to tune in, we will be listening, or rather watching, and you will be listening to our recap of Atlantic Rim, if you guys want to check it out.
Yes. I think Atlantic Rim also, just to mention.
Wait, nope,
offhand,
I lied. It came from beneath the sea. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Big mistake there. Hope nobody started downloading Atlantic Rim. Hope nobody paused. Got to eat crow there. But it came from beneath the sea. It's a classic from the 50s, I believe. So if you can track that down and check it out, I'd offer where it's available if I knew. But we have it sourced internally here. But that is it for my segment. I'm going to pass it over to our boy, Zachary.
Zach Facts, it's Zach Facts. When you're going down, get some Zach Facts when you're going down. Are we ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Sit back, get a drink, because we've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 Zach Facts. Whoa!
Oh my God.
Here we go. This is the most in a while.
Yep. We're driving this bad boy into overtime. Diving deep. That's a fact.
It's got supersized monsters. Well, sort of. But we got a supersized Zach Facts.
Can I start, Ben?
Sorry, no, I want to talk over the segment. All right,
Zach
now
Facts.
you may go.
Oh, Zach Facts. Deep Shock. The movie. Fact number 1. During an interview, when asked how he learned about how he got the part, David Keith said he was swimming in a creek and an eel bit his cheek. And he yelled, "That's amore."
What? Oh my God.
I thought you were going to say any like yeet, eek, eek or something, but I like that ending a lot better.
Fact number 2. Director Paul Rubin, or Philip Roth, originally wanted an eagle to fight one of the eels. But he was told that was illegal.
Oh my goodness. Are these all puns?
I'm loving this shit, man. Like, what is this?
Don't worry. You have to think
jeez.
about, this next one's, for animal rights, right? This next one's important. The script had one name and one name only for every eel that was on set. And that name was Elon Musk.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
But wait. Actually, there was another name for a few of these eels. So out of the 356 eels that were used in the film and killed, eels number 32, 33, 34, and 36 were all named Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh jeez.
It's just like his numbers that he played.
Those were all of his basketball numbers. But this next
Glad
one's
you
a good
caught
one,
on to
guys.
that.
This next one's a good one. I did try and call Mark Shepard, for to talk to him about a nice good fact for his character, Dr. Chomsky, but he wasn't in the mood to talk. He said he was feeling mentally ill.
Oh no.
Oh.
Mental
And
illness is not a joke, Zach.
And
Sure.
and the last fact for all you listeners out there. Deep Shock almost had a sequel, which almost was a prequel, which turned into an adult film. And this film would take place during the 1930s and star our guy, Ed Harris, as F.D. Hardon, And that movie would be called The Nude Eel.
What does the FD stand for?
Nude eel?
The nude eel.
Eel, man. The new deal, nude eel.
There it is.
Come
That's why
on.
they call me
my
the ointment.
God.
They don't call me the brain anymore.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
There it is.
FD hard on.
Thank you for listening to Submersion. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. If you like what you heard, please leave us a rating wherever you listen. Want to interact with us? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also love to get messages from all of you. If you have a suggestion, a comment, or just anything you'd like to share, please email us at macestudios@gmail.com.